Let's talk about tonight. Manchester City, they won the game. Poor.
West Ham, see what West Ham done tonight. Chelsea would not be able to do that. We go to Man City in a couple of weeks,
get
right?
beat 3-0. You're very capable of doing that.
No. We will lose by 5 or 6. We are incapable. West Ham put a shift in tonight. They put a shift in. Oh, they did. Half-time, 0-0. Chelsea are incapable right now of standing up against the side like Man City.
Because Man City hadn't turned up for 45 minutes. Not because West Ham were really good.
West Ham
were bang average.
Mate, West Ham can hold their heads up tonight. That's a team that's facing relegation against one of the best sides in the world, and they frustrated them.
Yeah, some of the players had a sickness bug as well.
I mean, what happened to Declan Rice? I mean,
and Souček.
They were ravaged, apparently.
Ravaged.
I'm just past. Don't shoot the messenger, mate. Ravaged.
Well, we'll hear from all the managers tonight. We're going live to the Etihad to hear from Pep and Moyes with Sam Matterface very shortly. But let's go. Look, we got just Haaland quickly. An unbelievable striker. He's broke the record. He's beaten players who played in 42 game seasons, 40 game seasons, and he's got 35 goals. Is he the best foreign striker or even the best striker you've seen in the Premier League ever?
Well, he hasn't been here a year yet, but what we've seen so far, he's in the conversation, isn't he? I mean, what Thierry Henry did at Arsenal that time, for 3 or 4 seasons, Thierry Henry was one of the best. He was.
He broke the record though.
No, he hasn't broken the record. A different type player. Not an out number 9. Man City are a perfectly brilliant, well organised, well oiled machine that played to his strength. Do you remember at the beginning of the season, even though he was scoring goals, there was 1 or 2 games where he was making runs, Haaland, and they weren't quite finding him. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
That goal he scored there tonight.
Well, there's people saying that he was the wrong person. Well, he joined the wrong team.
Who said that?
Well, there was a few people saying it. Right. Won't name names, but. There was a few.
Oh, no, go on.
No. Don't need to name names.
That run that he made for that goal, there were parts of the season where they weren't quite finding him on the training ground working it. He must have said to Brooke, look, I'm going to make these runs. You play that ball. And this time, I think it was Grealish that played the ball. If you had to design a centre forward for the modern game, from top to bottom, he's almost perfect.
Yeah.
He's almost perfect. The athleticism, the speed, the strength, the aerial ability, his link-up play now, by the way. That's something that we didn't see at the beginning of the season. His hold-up play, bringing players in and around him. Finishing, I mean...
Would you put him up there as better striker than Alan Shearer?
Well, what could Shearer do in this team? Shearer was
give me an answer.
No, because you're talking about the Premier League's leading goal scorer ever. So, there needs to be some respect for Alan Shearer. I don't think after just...
Not disrespecting, I'm asking a question.
No, but he's only been here 8 months.
He's broke the record.
He's broke the record. But, Alan Shearer was... There will be a moment where people will have that conversation and say, statistically, Alan Shearer just falls behind Haaland. But how many would Kane score if he played in this team?
Oh,
loads. What I'm saying is, he is brilliant.
I don't think Kane's got his pace though.
No, he hasn't got his pace.
He hasn't got his pace.
He hasn't got his
that.
Shearer was quick.
Ruthlessness.
Shearer was
to
quick.
Score goals like that the way he does.
No.
Kane's a better footballer.
Yeah,
I would say maybe a better footballer, but him as a striker.
If you had to design one, when away in a room and say, right, what do you want him to look like? You go, 6'3", 4", whatever it is there.
All right, we've got to go over to Anfield because Joe Shannon is with Jurgen Klopp. Are we going over to Anfield, Al? What are we doing?
Because all the difficulties we had were mainly caused by a really strong opponent. We have to accept that. But I think especially in the first half, for long spells, we really controlled the game and played a really good game. So and controlled it in a really convincing manner. And I like that. Didn't finish our situations off. But in our analysis, obviously we watched 3 games, but the last game against City was a strange game because City didn't create like City creates usually. So they had situations from direction, they had situations from counter press, from deep defending and counter-attacking, stuff like this. So we were prepared for that these kind of things can happen. And our goal, we got a penalty because Darwin was counter-pressing. So that's absolutely exceptional. And then with the speed, and obviously the defender didn't expect him there that quick probably, and that's why we got a pen. Mo finished it off, and in the end 1-0 counts as much as each other result, which gives you 3 points.
Lots of promising play in general. Is the only disappointment that you couldn't score more tonight?
It would have calmed the game down, but no disappointment. Not. Honestly, I take 3 points with each other result as well. So that's how it is. No, of course, it would have been cool. First half especially, we had a few. Where we could have. Even second half had a few really good moments. And yes, scoring these moments is extremely helpful, but we didn't, and so we had to fight until the end, and that's what the boys did.
And your goalkeeper helped you out on a couple of occasions. We know how valuable he is, but he was excellent tonight, wasn't he?
He was. And he, sitting in the dressing room, was nearly crying. It's that touch that we finally got a clean sheet after ages. But it's his clean sheet, and the big part's his 3 points, so that's absolutely fine. But the boys know that they can rely on him, and that's what they did tonight.
At Manchester United, we know have got games in hand, but you're 4 points behind them now. Are you thinking about Champions League at this point?
We can't. We are no dreamers in this moment where we think, let them lose all their games. We have nothing to do with that. We have to win our games. If we from now on win no game anymore, they can lose all of them. So, and then nothing happens. So the only thing what will happen then, and Brighton and Aston Villa will definitely be above us. And Brighton still has more games in hand and is in a better position. So we have to make sure that we do our homework, and then we will have a look what all the others do.
Well done tonight. Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you. Bye.
Appreciate it as ever. Jurgen Klopp there live in the tunnel at Anfield.
Yeah, thanks, Joe. It was a decent result for Liverpool. They're up to 5th on 59 points. They've played 34 games. Man United are 4th. They've played 32 games, got 63 points. So the top 4 is still on. But let's go to Oliver. He's a Man City fan. All right, Oliver?
All right, Ollie.
Hi, guys. You all right?
Yeah, good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, very well, thank you.
Look, you've been to the game. An easy performance in the second half, really. Brushed them aside. But first half hour, I thought Man City were off it.
Yeah, it was a little bit. It was a bit slow. The tempo was down on the pitch. The fans weren't really getting up for it. It was a funny one. I think maybe just a typical performance after a big game against Arsenal. So not unexpected, but I'm glad they got their heads together after half time.
Yeah,
they're grinding out results at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah,
I was talking about Liverpool. I was talking about Liverpool. I've just seen Liverpool.
What planet are you
I've just been watching Liverpool. Just been seeing Liverpool and thinking, Liverpool.
Well, I mean, you could say that about Man City, to be fair.
Well, look, there wasn't the first hour. I thought West Ham. I've got to give West Ham credit. They actually went to frustrate. I thought they got the tactics right. City were off it, and that going. You saw Pep. I don't know if you saw him on the touchline. There was an incident there where he's just marched down back towards his seat, cutting that figure of frustration.
Yeah, Pep was apoplectic at a few points tonight. But to be fair, we sit near him. We see all his animated, his rants and his animated bits and bobs. But yeah, he wasn't happy at some point. But to be fair, we've seen ourselves go 5-0 up, and he's still not happy. So nothing out of the ordinary.
Yeah. In terms of Pep as a manager, unbelievable, right? He's changed football in the Premier League and the way it's played and what he's done. Would you put him up there as the best ever?
I don't think there's any doubt. And I think, of course, the response, I'll preempt it, is going to be Fergie this, Fergie that. But the only thing at this point that separates Pep and Fergie is just time in the game, right? But Pep's got higher win percentage, more goals scored, wins the title at a higher percentage than Fergie did. Yeah. The only thing that separates the two of them now is just sheer time in the game. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, that's... And, you know, when you're in the same conversation as Sir Alex Ferguson, that tells you you're doing something right. Pep, and he's right about the time.
Yeah.
It's taken Pep a little bit longer to get his team up and running. Don't forget, Sir Alex Ferguson didn't win the first Champions League until '99.
I think he nearly got sacked, didn't he? When he first
so it took him a while to get that. But what he's doing this season with the formation, how he's changed it, and how he has got Grealish playing at the level that Grealish is now. You know, your first year at Grealish, we all sit there saying 100 million. You know,
I think it helps when you got Haaland in your team. He's making runs, and Grealish is great with his weight of pass and the timing of his pass.
There's all of that.
That helps.
There's all of that.
I think that's made Grealish look 10 times better because he's got a star player up front.
But individually, his own performances have improved from last year. And,
oh yeah.
You know, it's all over Akanji. I mean, he's brought in Akanji. You know,
who's your greatest manager ever?
What I played for?
No. Because they're all really bad.
Sir Alex Ferguson right now. I don't think you can get away from that. But the caller's right. It's time that Pep will be proven. And if he stays, and he's not going to stay.
Will he be the greatest manager ever?
Pep?
Yeah.
Possibly. Yeah. Why not? I mean, look what he's doing. If they go and win the treble this year, he's done something that Fergie did. And it's only ever happened once, right? You do the maths.
Okay.
The Sports Bar with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy. Monday to Thursday nights from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.